Right then, welcome back. Today, well, we're doing a setup for this, aren't we? The 2006 Fireblade? No, 2006 Ducati 999R. One of the most iconic motorcycles ever made, and I'll tell you why. So, this bike had a tough time. Why? Well, because it came after the 998, one of the most celebrated motorcycles in the world, and then after it was the 1098. They look familiar, don't they? Yes. The looks, not good. It was produced between 2003 and 2006. Came in three models: the Biposto, which was the standard bike, the S, which was the standard bike with some fancy bits on it, and then you got the R model. Now in the game, it's the R model, and what made it an R model? Well, it was single seat, and it was a true 999cc. Not many people know that the standard bikes, the Biposto and the S, were 997, but Ducati would not budget a 997 because they'd already made a 996 and a 998, and the 997 they thought was going backwards. Still with me? Good. How did they get to 999cc? Well, they gave it a bigger ball, which is a bigger piston, a bigger circle, and they gave it a shorter stroke with a smaller conrod. So it was an over square or a more square engine, and that equals more revs equals more power equals more speed equals 3 out of the 4 years that it was in the World Superbike Championship, it won the title. So that's a 75% hit rate. And in 2005, it won the BSB title as well. So as a race bike, as a concept, as an idea, it was very, very popular. However, people could not get over the looks, and they just did not buy it. The R model, it wasn't just about the engine. It had the 43mm Öhlins forks. It had radial Brembo brakes, which were one of the first models that Ducati made to have those brakes on it. It shared them with the S. However, it also had forged Marcazzini wheels, and it had carbon bodywork as well, which again was something that manufacturers just didn't really do. I believe late model 998Rs had the carbon bodywork as well. However, don't quote me on that. And the 749Rs as well. So yeah, all that equaled about 150 horsepower and 181 kilos dry. Now, dry is sans battery, sans fluids, sans petrol, sans coolant, sans brake, you name it, it doesn't have it in. So Ducati are a bit naughty there, because all in you can add about 20-25 kilos onto that, so you're looking what, 205, 206 kilos all up for the weight with 150 horsepower, which is not bad. This one doesn't have that. This one has about 183 horsepower and weighs 187 kilos wet, so we have quite a bit more performance, and we're on slicks. So where did we go? Well, a bike such as this needs proper tracks. So we didn't do a wet race, we just did proper tracks like Imola GP. We went there, lap time, doesn't really matter. All of the 1000cc plus bikes get lumped together. So this is going against Panigale V4s and R1s, new Fireblades, not going to work. It's very, very good to ride, which we'll come on to in the pros and cons. But as a bike to ride, oh my good lord. The GSXR 750 was very good, the one we did before, but this is absolutely stonking. We went to Magny-Cours, we had some fun. The AI, I am loving these single races with the 20 riders on the AI, because the mix of bikes is unreal. You get a little bit of everything. So I went to Magny-Cours, smashed them as per usual. We would have been in the top 230 for lap times, but I don't care, because it's such a good bike to use. If you want to use a 1000cc bike, you want to have some fun, and you want to win races, you'd need to use this Ducati. The AI will automatically adjust down, you can adjust the difficulty, it doesn't matter. We had to go to Alton Foster's because I had to see just how quick it was. And we did a 56.4 at Alton. Now, that's not too bad. I've just done something with the ZX10s, and the stock ZX10 with a lot more power didn't go much faster than that. Do you know what I mean? So the new the 2019 ZX10's pumping out the best part of 200 horsepower, etc. So it's a quickish bike. I mean, 27th, I'll take that. The biggest thing in all of this was we didn't make any changes. I stuck the setup in and just left it. Did not make any changes whatsoever. Went to Kyle Army. I love this place. On the right bike, this place is unbelievable. And look at this bike on the brakes. The front end is absolutely immense. The GSXR rider is a bit of a cock. watch this for a little swipe, and I'll just turn the wheelie control off as well. So yeah, that was a little bit naughty. It just grates me a little bit that it's keep me behind at all possible costs. But this corner down the hill, oh my god, it's an absolute event. Proper sweaty palms, proper little bit of small change coming out the back of me every time I go through there, especially on something fast. And it's a twin, and I absolutely adore V-twins. I haven't had many V-twins, but the ones I've had, I find it very hard to go back to 4-cylinder or triples or something like that. I just have a real thing for twins. But again, Kyle Army, we went, all these laps done on medium front soft rear. There's no changing of tyres. Where do we go next? I thought, you know what, we'll go to the Nürburgring GP. The World Superbikes have been there. Just tried to use kind of iconic tracks. So I'll do the same for, if we're going to do, I think I'll do like an icon series where so the bikes that have not changed motorcycling, but ones that are held in fairly high regard and esteem, I'll do like an icons thing. I'll do a little bit of background like I've done for this, because I quite enjoyed doing the research. So yeah, it was all good. Up into the last chicane, Nürburgring was a little bit deep in, but the bike is so good on its side. It was touted when it was released, when the S and the R came out. One thing that everyone said, looking back at the old reviews, they all say the same thing. Unbelievable in the bends, absolutely unreal. Riding position, horrific. However, what a bike. It does have a long wheelbase, and that long wheelbase helps it launch. It is the best launching bike, watch this, I've ever used on this game. Start 20th, by the time we get to second, we're inside the top 10. It's just unreal, and that's with a wheelie control and level 1 as well. And then what I normally do is I turn it off. I keep it on for Laguna because of the corkscrew, and it tends to spit you off. But it is just unbelievable. What a bike. But through all of this, I mean, we only set a time inside the top 50 once, which was at Alton, which is a bit of a meh because you can't really use the power, as I found out on the ZX10s. But everything else, oh, what an absolute treat this bike has been. And where did we end up setup wise? We ended up there. There's plenty of scope left in this. The front end's not full soft, and preload, and the spring hardness as well. We've got a little bit of room, so if you wanted to run a soft, you might be able to get away with it. But if you don't, then you can run a medium. You could even soften it off and run a hard if you wanted to, whatever takes your fancy. We did go a bit longer on the gearing. It was running out of revs quite quickly. Obviously aggressive on the calibration, but yeah, it's fantastic. Pros and cons. So, amazing front end. Oh my god, in the corners, as long as you've not got feet for hands and you're not stamping on the gas and brakes and you are using them in a reasonable fashion, it's so stable. It doesn't matter as long as you get the turning point right. Same as any bikes, this thing, it'll just go round, and then you get on the brakes, do what you want. Speaking of brakes, it is fantastic on the brakes. It will lift the rear off the floor quite happily on the brakes. Just that long wheelbase again, that transfer of weight and energy, it is mint. And it launches absolutely hard as you like. Best launching bike by far on the game. There's no like mucking about with the engine revs going up and down. You just get 8-9 grand on the dial. When it says go, you pin it and it will just go. Turn the wheelie control off and it's flipping you over backwards fast, so you know what'll happen. But you keep that wheelie control on 1, 2, and it will just fire you off the line. It's flipping fantastic. Cons, slowish, right. The retro or historic 1000cc race bikes get their own group. So anything before, 2010 gets its own group, but the road bikes don't. So all of the road bikes are lumped together. So everything from a first generation Millie in like 99, 2000, all the way through to the modern stuff, they're all in the same group. So I say slowish with the caveat that it's slowish compared to a Panigale V4. Of course it is. It's lacking 100 horsepower and 25 kilos extra weight on the back of it. So yeah, everything's relative, isn't it? Compared to its contemporaries, the ZX10s and stuff like that, yeah, they went to 1200cc for a reason, but it is a good bike. It's old and has limited appeal. So when was this made? 2006. So it is what now? It's the best part of 15 years old, coming up for 16 years old. So if you've not been into motorbikes for more than 14, 15 years, probably a bit longer, you're not going to know anything about it. If you've not been watching World Superbikes for the last 15 years, you're going to know nothing about this bike. You're going to go, what? It's an old Ducati, I don't care. 999, look how ugly that is. The appeal comes from the people who know what it is. People like me, who are only just the right side of 50, who love the bikes and appreciate them for what they are, and they go, do you know what, I'd have one of them. If my numbers come out on Friday, I'd buy one of them. I'd never be able to ride it. It would absolutely cripple me. I'd set fire to it in the hedge after 10 minutes, but it is what it is. And last but not least, oh my God, is it ugly? Well, it's worse than that, it's fugly. I mean, the 998, the 916, right through to the 998, absolutely beautiful motorbikes. Sods to ride, no good, awful, didn't want to run, dodgy electrics, you name it, not great things. 999 addressed all those problems, and as a piece of motorcycling engineering, it was fantastic. And what did everyone do? No, we want under-seat twin silencers, we want the slitty eyes back that the 916 has, the headlights, we want this, we want a single-sided swing arm, we don't want that, we don't want the other, we don't care about this. So after 3 years, Ducati gave in and they released a 1098, but it is what it is. I mean, it's an absolute bit of kit. I love them, I absolutely love them. Do you know what? I'm so very happy that it's transferred into the game and it is such a good bike to use, because it is fantastic. It is absolutely, give it a go. Stick the tune in, don't stick the tune in, do whatever you're doing. Just give that bike a go, do a free race, let the AR use what they want and mix it up and go to one of your favourite tracks and just give it a go, because it is a great bike. Yeah. But thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing, thank you to all the new subscribers, thank you to everyone who's coming and watching what I'm doing and sending me comments, especially Speedy, thank you very much buddy, and Scorpion and Bert and all the others that I can't remember your tags on YouTube because I've not written them down, but thank you. I genuinely like reading the comments, they make me laugh, they make me smile, and I like replying to them as well, so thank you very much. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, table, chairs and drawers, I really appreciate it. But yeah, if you've liked it, smash the subscribe button, let me know how you're getting on. If you want to see a bike or a setup, again, let me know. I appreciate it takes a bit of time. Yeah, I can't just do it. I mean, I can do it at the minute because we're off over the Christmas period, but when I'm at work, it takes a couple of days to get one of these recorded and then edit it up and do all the things that I want to do. So I just would appreciate just a little bit of patience. If you ask me for one, please don't unsubscribe, because after 3 days I've not done it. It just takes a bit of time. But yeah, we're getting there. So thank you for watching, thank you for everything else, and fingers crossed I will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, have a great holiday period wherever you might be in the world, and peace.